like action / martial art, but mostly martial art movies? Because I've seen some of the best and worst this genre has to offer, and I'm gonna tell you why they suck.
Quarantine has given me a lot of time to watch terrible, terrible movies, most of which have been in the martial arts and action genre, and I came across this film's trailer in my journey.
And obviously I decided to watch it because it looked amazing.
Is now in the hands of an American.
American Ninja is a film franchise with a lot of sequels. The first film was released on video in 1985, later onto DVD, which by the way has the lamest cover I've ever seen. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but come on. It was originally released in the UK as American Warrior, and even cut out some of the ninja stuff on the video release, which says a lot about your film if the main character being a ninja isn't important enough in the story to have as a selling point.
And believe me, the ninja aspect adds nothing to this film's main character.
Apparently the main actor, Michael Dudikoff, didn't even know martial arts and wasn't trained in it for the film. And having seen the movie, this is very apparent. So what is exactly wrong with this film?
A lot of things.
This movie is kind of awful. The acting is bad, the editing is bad, the directing is incompetent, cinematography is retarded, the story is confusing, the music is straight up inappropriate, the choreography is poorly done, and the pacing is so bizarre. But seriously, this film doesn't know how to slow down, or speed up for that matter. Things just keep happening without allowing time to settle, and I'm not saying there's a lot of new information being given either. It's really hard to explain. If you wanted a new title that would better describe this film, instead of American Warrior, how about the next scene, the movie? Things don't develop in this movie, they happen.
Let me give you an example. Say you wanted to present an action scene. You'd perhaps want to slowly build up the emotions from the perspective of your main character. Maybe have a sudden moment where they realize that they're in danger. Thus, when the action starts, the energy changes.
Now, with that in mind, watch this scene also keeping in mind that there hasn't been any action for about 16 minutes, so this isn't a continued fight scene. It just sort of starts. It feels as though even the most bottom-of-the-barrel action films have implied tension through pacing or music. But the film's implied emotion is, now this is happening.
And this film isn't trying to be funny, it takes itself very seriously. The incompetence is so bad that it doesn't even know how to pretend that there's tension. The best description I can give for the tone of this film is numb, and that stays pretty consistent throughout the whole film. I should probably now tell you what happens in this film. But bear with me, it's not that easy. 2 ninja movies in a row. I'm gonna regret this.
We start off our tale at a military base in the Philippines, and it appears the editor kept in the part of him getting into position. All you had to do was already show him on the truck and it wouldn't be so distracting. And our main character is such a cool guy. He's got a knife, and he leaves his shirt undone, and he's a total prick.
Hey, babe, come on! We need an extra guy to even up the size.
And being a prick, he ignores this guy.
Hey, come on!
Just say no.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah, man, that was fucking sick.
Get the bag, please!
How about some help? What's his problem?
I don't know, he's a new guy. He just got here yesterday.
So he just continues to ignore them, and apparently everyone here is a prick.
Bitch! We like a little teamwork around here, pal.
Anyway, the whole group gears up to escort the colonel's daughter. Why would he have his daughter on a military base? I have no clue. And while they're escorting her, we get the most underwhelming title card ever. You know, for a movie called this, why is it set in the Philippines? Ninjas are from the Philippines, they're from Japan. And Christ, this music. get stopped by this roadblock and are confronted by a terrible accent.
Good morning.
Morning.
And then the escort is attacked by confused-looking extras. They begin stealing their equipment, and this girl decides to resist.
Why? You have no business sitting here.
Shut up, bitch.
And then Joe delicately flies in to be a hero. All of these guys could shoot him, but they don't think that's a good idea. Anyway, she tries to escape in the car. Fucking flaccid face over here continues to fight. The other guys realize that the enemies don't know how to use their guns. When they finally start to use their guns, Joe just for some reason can roll out of the way. And then gently throws lightweight props. This fight scene is terrible. It's so boring, and oh my god, it's a ninja. Yeah, that was a believable reaction.
Bitch.
Why is a tree falling? Did they forget to include something? One of the men tries grabbing a truck to escape, and another one begins to chase him. Joe sees this and then dives for literally no reason. Like seriously, why? Was it to stay out of sight? Because he jumps on the back and the guy can see him anyway. And then he somehow uses a chain to flip the truck over, but that wouldn't stop the guy from steering. And you probably forgot already, but there's a ninja just sort of watching. Is that really the best signal you could have chosen? Wow. So this guy shows off the worst aim ever and then is shot by an arrow in the back. And then he gets gently poked by a sword. How can you film something like this and be taking it seriously? At least one of them can shoot. Nope, never mind. Oh, here, let me hose that for you. So all these well-trained soldiers get poked to death as Joe saves this girl with his ninja skills. Yep, he just broke a fucking shovel.
Oh, but that was the part that was impressive. Just wanted to know where your standards are.
Not the guy breaking the shovel like it's made of foam. No, the guy with the stick.
The only American.
So Joe runs away with the girl and the ninja asks this guy.
Who is he? I don't know. He's a new recruit. I don't even know his name.
He possessed great skills.
Yeah, sure, we'll call it skill.
Yes, I'm aware that he blocked arrows with the shovel, but it doesn't explain what the ninja says later.
So our hero is outrunning some ninja with this lady who is incredibly annoying. Why give her character when she can just be a female stereotype?
I hope you're going to Italy to get me another pair because these are my designer shoes. These are my favorite shoes. How?
So he sets her up to move a little bit more comfortably without explaining what he's doing because he's a prick. Just tell her she can't run in heels. So they manage to lose the ninjas at a river, and I guess he can just hold his breath for an extended period of time because an hour later they get out of the water.
Did you look at me? Look at my shirt. Look at my hair. It's a mess.
Yeah, she's annoying, but I'm kind of on her side because he doesn't talk.
Shoes day.
Are you okay?
He speaks!
They're just a little bit wet, thank you.
No, we can hang him out to dry.
The tone gets oddly sexual, and that doesn't make any sense because the characters aren't developed at all.
Why do you like him?
You know, I don't even know your name.
Excellent point.
Joe.
That's it?
Yeah, just call me Joe.
Joe. Okay, Joe.
Look, Colonel's gonna be worried about you. We better get dressed and get.
I liked him better when he was quiet. We go back to the general as they're bringing back the dead men.
Yes, sir.
Third time this month we've been hit.
Wait, third time?
By ninjas? Did you not see a red flag when you saw the roadblock?
We wouldn't have had any this time either, sir, if that new man hadn't been along. Your daughter'd be here right now, safe, if he hadn't started acting like John Wayne.
I mean, sure. But so did all of these guys.
Chance to check the wounds?
Yes, sir, I did.
What the hell did you find out?
Have you ever heard of ninjutsu, sir?
What's that?
The secret art of assassination.
Yeah, of course I have.
You just said you didn't.
Well, according to witnesses' testimony and evidence, this massacre was the work of ninjas.
Ninjas?
Yes, sir.
You have served me well, my friend.
So we get introduced to the main villain, and surprise, surprise, he's also boring.
Truck was the most valuable cargo, got away.
Not to mention, he isn't scary. Why not just have the ninja as the main villain? Like, yeah, he also sucks, but why not have the physical threat be the main villain? Why do all of these movies do this? A villain doesn't need an accent, they don't need an evil henchman, it's done way too much. So yeah, this ninja guy is claiming that the reason their mission went so poorly is because of an American ninja.
An American ninja? What are you talking about? There is no such thing.
I do not lie. I know it is death to teach the secrets to the Westerner.
What about this guy makes you think he's a ninja? Was it his role? Was the shovel fight really that cool? Blocking arrows doesn't make him a ninja, he could just be well trained. Karate has been a practice style in the military for many years. Why would this be new? It's not like he fought one of the ninja or something like that. In fact, the only reason he didn't die is because no one tried to shoot him. And it only seemed like you gave up is because he blocked some arrows. Maybe you suck! And you've never seen someone break a stick before. So Joe brings this lady to a safe location. The music implies this should be emotional, but there is zero chemistry between these two actors.
I guess it's goodbye.
Guess so.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Joe!
Blood in your shirt! So he gets in trouble for calling the fight, but apparently the witnesses didn't mention this girl was already in trouble. Everyone in his bunk hates him. We get to see our main character trying to remember something involving a master. So boring villain number 2 is trying to sell weapons he stole from an escort to another underdeveloped villain, and he shows his private army of ninjas.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
But I'm a little distracted by this terrible accent.
He is specially trained to, how shall we say it, help you with any problems you may encounter.
So the main villain shows off some moves, although this could have been done during the bus raid from earlier. So we move to the next scene, and it's our main character getting harassed by our second protagonist, Jackson.
I hear you think yourself to be some kind of a tough guy. A karate boy.
I can't help but notice that Jackson seems to teleport between these two shots. I mean, they got the continuity of this guy grabbing his hat, but whatever.
Hey, I'm talking to you, hero.
He thinks he's a real badass, Jackson.
This is a really bad scene. All of these guys start harassing him until he starts fighting, but this guy has to throw himself because our main actor can't do judo.
Shut up!
Bitch! Bitch!
Shut up!
Fun fact, these two actors apparently didn't like each other. On the trivia for the film it says, Steve James, who plays Jackson, said in an interview that Michael Dudikoff was anxious about working with him since James knew martial arts and Dudikoff didn't, and he didn't want to be shown up. James even requested his final fight scenes be filmed on the other side of the compound, far away from Dudikoff, to avoid any further problems. It wasn't until halfway through filming the sequel that the two of them set their differences aside. Wow.
So Joe earns their respect with his poor judo skills, and I guess they're all cool with him now.
Joe's all right, right?
I thought you were all pissed because he got 4 men killed. Are these guys wowed by bad technique just like the ninja guy from before? Do they just feel bad? So he gets into trouble with this guy.
Trouble?
And is set on trash duty. Jackson tries to learn where he got so skilled.
Where am I? Now come on, level with me. Where'd you learn those moves? And don't give me that look either. I know you didn't pick them up in the streets. I'm from the streets.
So Joe is asked to deliver this note.
Face, man.
I'll be fast, no one will notice. Are you sure? Do you want her to get the note? She'll be on the balcony, man, wearing a white dress. You cannot miss her. Jackson, gonna need your bike.
Oh, man, that's my baby. That's my life's blood. You sure you can handle it?
Look, Joe, call me a worrywart, call me irresponsible.
Call me a
Bitch! But how do you plan to get off the base without the MPs catching you? Watch.
Let's watch that again. First of all, that's not the same guy as Joe. Secondly, this dude clearly breaks his face. And third. It turns out the note was from this woman from earlier, and it was actually for him. They go out to dinner because, remember, he wooed her with his speech.
Colonel's gonna be worried about you. We better get dressed and...
I guess developing these characters might have taken some writing effort. So yeah, they go out to dinner and the audience learns that these two are actually in league with each other, and they plan to set a trap for Joe. And then these two share a really awkward kiss.
Okay, so we have our character set in place, relationships established, poorly developed, but nonetheless established, and we know the villain's motivation. Now the story takes off from here, right? No.
Because guess what? We're halfway done. The movie has shown what should be the first act in the first half of the movie. We've arrived at what should be the middle of the second act, but instead we have boring characters, a boring villain, a boring story, and a boring lead. We are past the point of developing it. The experience can't get better.
You believe my orders could be ignored, right? You don't like the hard work.
So the main character gets sent on a mission that was mentioned earlier before, which we already know is going to be a trap, and it turns into that fight scene I mentioned. And just like I said, it just kind of starts. It really doesn't even feel like a fight, it just feels like actors waiting for their cues. So he grabs a hold of some of their swords and starts booping them all. Yeah, that looked great. Okay, next scene. He's moving so slowly. How am I supposed to take this seriously at all if he isn't even exerting himself? Oh no, he knocked us over with the net. If only we had thought to let go. So they steal his truck and then he finagles his way to underneath it and then he takes it to the villain's compound. Naturally, he learns their evil plan and then escapes with the help of this Randy.
Who are you?
You will know when the time is right.
Which won't be very long from now. He manages to get back to the US base, but this happens.
Hold it right there, soldier. You're under arrest.
I have to see the Colonel. My truck was hijacked.
My order is to place you under arrest.
So Jackson hears about this and tries to talk to the Colonel about it.
Colonel, something just isn't right. I know Joe, sir, and I know he...
That's enough, Corporal.
Yeah, corporals, we got to fights yesterdays. We're best friends. So he doesn't manage to get through to him, and we see the main villains discussing a way to take out Joe. And they understand that he's in a prison cell and the ninja plans on attacking him there. Awesome. To be perfectly honest, I don't think that would work. Joe, kick over the ladder. That would slow him down so much. I thought you possessed great skill. So there's another poorly executed fight scene inside of a lot of tanks. And for some reason, the ninja doesn't clue into the fact that Joe might not be as strong as he thinks he is. Which he should, because he almost kills him right here. Why didn't you do that when he was on the ladder? But yeah, Joe escapes and this guy gets paid for some reason.
Oh my God.
You might want to try that again. Joe finds his best buddy and tells him what happened.
The sergeant's got some big operation going.
They meet up with this girl and try telling the Colonel what happened. It almost seems to work, but he tries capturing them instead. Joe runs like a coward for the 5th time, I think? But this boring guy dies, not that he was important to the story anyway, because the Colonel was in on it too. Why all these twists? The ninja steals this lady because her dad doesn't want to, like, be a part of the villain's thing, and the Joe finds his head say at his dojo, which is on the villain's base. We get this horribly uncomfortable flashback, and I'll let you figure out why.
When I was 6.
So yeah, this guy is his adopted father, and he learned that he was trained as a young child to become a ninja. But now I got a question. Why does that matter? Him being a ninja doesn't change anything. It's not like he gets any better at fighting. Like, yeah, there's ninja magic introduced, but that ends up being useless. It's not like he's done anything this whole movie to make you think he's a ninja. It just seems like everyone around him is really bad at fighting, and he's just not as shit by comparison. Is this backstory a thing because he's fucking boring? Because being a ninja doesn't change any of that. In every single fight scene he's in, he shows no emotion. He looks bored. Anyway, he gets some armor and some weapons for the big showdown. The bad guy is about to make his deal when suddenly Joe hops in. It wasn't impressive the first time. The sensei shows up, and just like all the other fights, it just sorta happens. Everyone's physical performance is so bad. Everything is moving as slow as possible, making these flips look really out of place. And some shots are way too close. What's happening here? What was that move? Why is he falling over? It's confusing. Why are all of you standing around? Charge him. Here, let me hold that for you. So Bad Ninja tries throwing a knife at Joe, but Sensei turns invisible and stops it. Music and pacing is treating it like it just sorta happened. You wanna try throwing that again? No? Why doesn't anyone shoot him? The military storms in and starts murking, while Joe goes after the other ninja. Where did that come from? Really?
Oh, shit!
Yeah, punch to the face failed, but not the gut. Why are you shooting fire? Throw a knife! What is this editing? So the bad goodbye shoots these goodbyes. Jackson, I thought you knew martial arts. Why didn't you use that when he was on the rope? Why didn't you use that when he was on the rope? Also, what? Close up, I don't know how to fight. My best guess is that he kills him with a red marker, and then he grabs onto the helicopter with his girlfriend. Were you aiming at his arm? He didn't hit him. They jump off into a conveniently placed crash pad. Jackson blows up the helicopter, and then Joe kills his girlfriend. And then the movie just ends? What happened? I mean, he didn't actually kill his girlfriend, but it just ends with him pulling his mask off. Everything is so sudden, but because the tone barely changes, it feels like there's 4 scenes in the whole goddamn thing. Nobody learns anything. Joe doesn't even give a shit that his adopted father died, which would be consistent with the rest of his reactions, but it only makes this ninja origin even more pointless. The most ninja thing that happened was the villain trying to kill Joe in his cell. Ninjas aren't effective because they have incredible fighting skill, it's because they're stealthy. But there's not one stealth kill. Why are even ninjas in the movie? Just have the main character be a ninja, and use the time that you did on the other ninjas training and talking to develop his character.
So yeah, this movie is pretty awful. At least while watching Beverly Hills Ninja, I could get some ironic enjoyment, but watching this movie was mostly a trial. The acting was bad 100% of the time. The story is so empty, creating a setting that's better for gunfights than actual martial arts. The fight scenes were barely impactful, again, could have just been gunfights. And the choreography was so pathetically executed. The moves themselves could have been presented in a nice way, but all of the actors suck. So overall, this ends up being just as bad as Beverly Hills Ninja. But at least I could laugh at this one. This one was mostly pain. How did this get sequels?
Look, I need a break from these ninja films. I'm gonna avoid them for a while. As long as it's not ninjas, I don't care what the next... Why?